Alright guys, we are clear for takeoff. Actually, nice and calm out here. You do notice how shallow it is right around the island. You'll see pretty much all the way out to the reef. It's really only 10 to about 35 feet deep in the cruise ship channel, so it is extremely shallow around here. A lot of boats out here though, a good day for it. Beach we have down here on the right, that's called Smathers Beach. That is the most popular beach in Key West, although it's pretty shallow down there, really only about 2 feet deep, so bring a helmet if you want to go swimming. But a lot of weddings there, that's what makes it so popular. Next beach on the right here is called Higgs Beach, along with the White Street Pier. But you can see there's an old fort in the middle of Higgs Beach with palm trees all around it, shrubbery, called West Martillo Fort.
You're about 2.5 south of the pier right now for Double 2. Yes, sir. Alright, Double 2 transition is approved, the altimeter 3003, and there'll be a biplane at the southwest corner, headed southwestbound.
Double 2, 3003.
Down on the right here we have Duval Street. Conquest, we got that traffic.
Conquest, roger.
Then we have the southernmost point, the red, black, and yellow buoy back to the right, because then the rest of this part of the island is all man-made. That's all military property, basically.
Tower envoy, 3397 is visual 9.
Envoy 3397, QS Tower, runway 9 clear to land. You got traffic ahead, and about 2.5 miles is the T-34 500.
Alright, we're looking for him, he's in sight now, and clear to land on 9.
And down on the right, my favorite beach. Where's Zachary Taylor?
Traffic about 2.5 south of you is an Embraer jet making the base for runway 9, and he does have you in sight.
Double 2, copy, looking.
Alright.
Our name is 683 Kilo Whiskey, QS ground, runway 9, taxi via Alpha.
Make a left-hand turn now, we'll go head out to the reef, check out the Sandkey Lighthouse.
We'll are you going to go westbound or out to the lighthouse first?
We're heading out to the lighthouse first, I do have the Embraer in sight.
Conquest, roger. Envoy 3397, additional traffic at the southwest corner, headed southwestbound as a biplane has you in sight, he'll be low level as well.
We'll be looking.
002, frequency change approved, Navy departures on 124.02, come on flight following, sir.
Delta 2, copy, negative.
3952 Bravo, QS ground, runway 9 taxi via Alpha.
Now those islands out there to the right, they go out for about another 25 miles or so. We'll go fly in there later a little bit, check it out. It's all protected area, it's all part of a wildlife sanctuary. But we do have the reef about another 4 miles out there in front of us, so it'll take us a couple minutes to get out there, but Key West does have the third largest reef in the world. Got the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, reef off of Belize, and then a reef here in Key West. So #1 dive destination in the world right now, and you'll see why once we get out there. It's pretty amazing. But a lot of buoys on the surface right now, you may notice those are all lobster traps.
Tower 52 Bravo, ready to go 9 Charlie. Tower 52 Bravo, runway 9 taxiway Charlie, clear for takeoff.
Clear to go at 9 Charlie, flight to Mellow.
Runway 3397, traffic departing prior arrival will be in order from the Charlie intersection.
Roger.
To notice here, it's only about 10, 15 feet deep maximum, starting to get onto the reef line. Of course, it's the only living coral reef in North America. That's why it makes it so popular. But all these reefs out here are protected. You know, they see a lot of people every day.
3397, turn right at the end, taxi park and that's frequency.
You'll notice there's all buoys set up around the reef sections. Those are for boats to anchor, or to tie up, because that's it. You're not even allowed to throw your anchor. Anybody, no fishing, standing, touching, taking anything from the reef. The typical common sense stuff.
And do you want to fly following?
Yeah, we'll take flight following to MIA 75.
Yeah, number 683 Kilo Whiskey, squawk 4505, Navy departure 124.02.
Really surprised there's no snorkel boats out here yet. Might be a little too cold for people today, but I don't think so. Probably one of those days where the water temperature is a little bit above the air temperature. There's a big turtle down here on the right. See that brown spot next to the buoy floating on the surface? It's on the right wing now. That's a loggerhead turtle. And we're starting to see more and more turtles. They were just overfished for a long time, almost went extinct. Now they're protected and doing better. It's actually a very serious offense. There was about 2 weeks ago, 2 guys came down from Miami and they found, for some reason they got pulled over and they had a turtle in their cooler. And those guys are probably going to go to jail for it. Same thing with the lobster. Here's another turtle on the left, coming up from the left wing. See that brown spot floating on the surface? Another turtle.
395 35 Bravo, runway 9 taxi via Alpha.
Then we have the Sankey Lighthouse off to the left.
2 Bravo, freeze change proved.
Considered the main reef here. Fly a circle around it. At one time there was a house out here, which was the caretaker house of the lighthouse. Obviously that didn't last too long. We haven't had a hurricane for 10 years now, but we are about due when they come through. They sure wreck this little island. And that's why homeowners' flood and wind is so expensive.
Bravo, QS Tower, runway 9 taxiway, Charlie, clear for takeoff.
I think I'm rolling on.
Alright, make our way northbound. We'll go check out those islands out there in front of us. Notice this little bit of color change to the water down here on the right. That mainly has to do with the clearer water on the right is the colder water. The murkier water on the left is a little bit warmer. Like I was saying earlier, it's kind of funny. You get into a fist fight on Duval Street, and you're definitely not looking at any jail time, but you mess with the wildlife out here, lobsters or turtles, you're going to jail. They don't even think twice about it. It's kind of silly, but it's I guess that's how it's got to be. There's a story in the newspaper right now about 3 brothers that are actually going to go to jail over lobster because what they were doing was, in other parts of Florida, every other county, it's legal. What you do is you just put a little man-made structure in the water and the lobsters will habitat towards it. Well, in Monroe County, they decided that's illegal. So it was kind of borderline there, and that's it. These guys were doing it, and now they're looking at going to jail for 6 months in state prison and a $25,000 fine, even though it's legal in other parts of Florida. Also, stone crab's in season right now. I prefer stone crab over the lobster down here. It's really good. So some of these buoys, once we get into the shallower water, those are stone crab traps. And it's amazing too with the markup on the lobster and stuff. I know commercial lobstermen, they get about $4 a pound, and if you're going to buy it in the store, it's $25 a pound, and they're doing all the work. Only getting $4 a pound for it.
QS Tower, Devil 2. Devil 2, QS Tower. We are 12 miles west. I'd like to transit the north side of the island, 500 feet below if able. Devil 2, stand by. Honor 35 Bravo, free exchange proved.
See you in a bit, Ruba.
Alright. This area here we call the back country we're coming up on. You can see it's super shallow in there, and all that brown along the bottom is seagrass, which is live and protected.
Devil 02, you can transition on the south side, sir. There's jumpers over the drop zone on the north side.
Devil 2, copy.
Devil 02, it's a transition along the southern shoreline, the altimeter 3004.
3004, Devil 2.
Set you at 336, right on Delta, right on Alpha. Alpha 6 to park in this frequency.
Now we might see some movement down here. Usually early in the morning we'll have some sharks moving about, and there'll be like a black sliver. And then stingrays will be either a dark brown or a black round doormat looking thing. So kind of keep your eyes peeled. I'll look as well.
Devil 02, you got biplane traffic straight ahead and a traffic control at Hampton Otter float plane. That's about 400 feet.
Devil 2, visual 2.
Roger. Conk 1, T-34 is about half a mile west of your position, and Otter's behind you.
Alright, I've got the Otter in sight, looking for the other traffic convoy. And Conk 1's got the T-34. Over here, back behind us to the left, check out this Navy plane coming past us. That's very unusual.
KRI 729, Foxtrot, X-ray, US ground. You're cleared to Fort Lauderdale Airport via Carnu, direct. Maintain 5,000. Departure 124.02, squawk 4523. KRI 729, Foxtrot, X-ray, rate back is correct. You ready for taxi, sir? KRI 729, Foxtrot, X-ray, runway 9 taxi via Alpha.
Conk 1's 5 miles to the west, like to proceed into the harbor.
Conk 1, procedures requested, altimeter 3004.
Thank you. Also, you'll notice some lines down there in the seagrass every so often, and those are all propeller scars from boats running aground, so.
Conk 1, stay south of final now for me, sir. There's jumpers still in the air over toward Fleming.
Alright, south of final, Conk 1. Yeah, sometimes on a low tide and a full moon, this seagrass will come right up out of the water. Now off to the left, just at a couple hundred feet, you can see the parachute jumpers coming down.
That was 01, contact Navy Tower.
Devil 2, sir.
Devil 2, roger.
Those are, believe it or not, out at the tip of that island, out to the left, that taller building there. That's the Military Special Forces Combat Dive School. So those are our Special Forces guys doing some kind of training this morning. Usually they land in the water. I'm surprised they're landing on the island. Over here on the right, Fort Zach again. Conquest like to request go northbound. Got Mallory Square down here on the right. .
made his request.
Thank you, Conquest. The downtown marina here on the left. And the majority of these sailboats out here, people do live on. That is the cheapest way to live here in Key West. Like I said, this is all military over here to the right. This is all man-made. Usually I'll go a little bit closer, but he doesn't want us really going over there. But then the next island over there to the right with all the houses on, that's all military housing. And like I said, out there at the tip of the island is the combat dive school.
And Tower Caravan 79 Fox X-ray is ready to go on 9.
Caravan 79 Foxtrot X-ray, QS Tower, runway 9er, clear for takeoff, heading 360.
Hey, clear for takeoff, runway 9er, and then it's 360, Caravan 79 Fox X-ray.
Down here on the left, you can see some black structure sticking out of the water. That's an old shipwreck there. Now, of course, we call them shipwrecks, but really that boat was just tied up and sank. What happened was back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, our military bought a bunch of surplus boats, put them out here as decoys to fool everybody, so eventually they just sank. So that's where a lot of our larger shipwrecks out here in the harbor come from.
Caravan 9 Foxtrot X-ray, contact Navy departure, heading 360, good flight, sir.
Hey, coming back through the harbor area again. Got Sunset Key over there to the right, that's a private island. And then Mallory Square back on the left again.
Envoy 3397, cleared to Miami Airport as filed. Maintain 16,000, expect 17,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure control frequency 124.02, squawk 4576. Envoy 3397, read back correct information. Charlie's current advisory on taxi.
Now, Sunset Key really only got developed recently, within the last 15 years, really. They've been working on developing that other island there, but there's some controversy over who technically owns that island. The U.S. Navy has the paperwork to it, but this other guy, been a real estate developer here in Key West for a long time. He says that he owns the island and he's been paying taxes on it, so that's kind of a big controversy recently. There's this Coast Guard ship over there on the left. That's a floating museum. Open to the public. It was called the USS Ingham, built in the 30s, retired in the 80s, and survived 3 different wars. A lot of history there. It's pretty cool. And we're back on Fort Zachary Taylor on the left. Like I said earlier, one time that fort was the tip of the island. This is all man-made down here. Tower Conch 1, southwest corner inbound.
Conch 1, QS Tower, runway 9er, clear to land.
Clear to land 9er, Conch 1. Down here on the left, got the southernmost point. You see the red, black, and yellow buoy again.
QS ground, clear to Belong Airport is filed. Maintain 13,000. Departure 124.02, squawk 0034.
Coming up on the left, this hotel with the red roof, that's a Casa Marina Hotel Resort.
With Charlie and request
That was built in 1917 by Henry Flagler. He's the guy that built the railroad to Key West with his own money. So that's one of the very original hotels on the island. Still one of the largest. Then Higgs Beach on the left and the White Street here.
4430 Hotel, QS Tower. 4430 Hotel with Charlie and requesting right downwind departure. Up there 4430 Hotel, right downwind departure, approved and clear for takeoff from taxiway Alpha, the wind 010 at 6, September 3005, do not overfly the ramp and remain south of the runway. Remain south of the runway, clear to take off taxiway Charlie, and thank you very much. Taxiway Alpha, sir. Taxiway Alpha, clear to take off taxiway Alpha.
Alright, he's cleared us to land here. We'll go ahead and make our approach. Be crossing over Smathers Beach again. And this is the Key West High School over on the left.